Welcome everyone! Today's topic of discussion is something that will most likely get me thrown into a bottomless pit of the internet or something. I say such things as today's game, as the title suggests, is the indie darling RPG video game we know and you love as Undertale. If it's not obvious enough, I won't sing oaths about the greatness of this game. The game was made by one man. This made Toby Fox. The game was released on September 15, 2015. Story. You have three storylines. A good one, a mixed one, and a how dare you play my game like it's a game instead of an art project one. Now look, I'm not against being artistic and all that. But I am, however, against punishing the player for trying to play your RPG like an RPG, because if something tries and attacks me, I will fight back and bloody kill that thing with cold blood. Then again, that may just be me. Enough banter. These storylines are separated into runs. Full pacifist, mixed, and genocide by their official names, chicken shit, normal, and the completionist RPG player if you go by the names I gave them. The full pacifist requires you to not kill any of the enemies, and rather spend your game running from these same enemies while befriending them. Which is why I call it chicken shit. The mixed is, well, mixed. Would you have thought? It gives you a fake ending and tells you to stick it, basically. The genocide route involves you killing a set number of monsters per segment of the game, and is a lot harder than the other two routes. It also allows to do creepy shit that seems like it should be illegal to your PC, which is always nice. Basically, it tries to scare your socks off so that you regret playing the game like a normal RPG. The game-based story, however, from which the three plots bench from, involves a fallen human, which is played by you, and a set number of NPCs that actually matter. There's the monster boy, whose name we don't get, Toriel, who may or may not be your mother, the comic Sans, who sucks more at being funny than I do, and that's a bloody accomplishment. Papyrus, who still has to call me that lying sack of shit, Undyne, the underground superhero, Metaton, a Japanese transformer who can transform from a TI-81 into a drunken cave fantasy, Alphys, the rural scientist, and Asgore, the king, who may or may not be your dad. I think I went over most points I could from the story without spoiling the game. Gameplay. The gameplay. Well, where do I start? Let's start with traversing the overworld. In that aspect, it's your basic RPG. You walk a lot, and do that pretty slowly, talk with the locals, and have random encounters, as well as some you can foresee. Now that we're at the battles, what do I think about the battle system then? I have to say that I quite like it. I like that defending yourself makes the game a bullet hell. I like the Super Mario RPG-like timing-based damage system. I liked it a lot. But, may I remind you, that according to the game itself, I am not supposed to use it. I am supposed to use the magic, or rather, the act option, as that can help you be the wuss you are and run away like a crying 5-year-old. I mean, show mercy and befriend the enemy, whatever. And if we're here, in the battle, what options do you have? You have an attack, an act, an item, and a mercy button. Attack as you bake cakes for shits and giggles, or, beat in some faces. Either or. Act gives you different techniques to try and befriend the enemy. Item is something you shouldn't have to use a lot, unless you're going to genocide route. And finally, mercy, which is your option rebranded because branding is everything. You have been hearing Marketing 101. The game relies on your goodness to decipher which difficulty you want to be on. That's bullshit talk, for it's the easier and the more merciful you are. Visuals. The game has an 8-bit look. That, and that the quality of the rooms vary from MS Paint job to actually good looking, is all I can say about the game's visuals. Oh right, the color scheme. Well, the game's palettes work rather well. What is supposed to be a cave, you're likely to tell is a cave, and such. My only complaint being the overusage of white. Sounds. The game features chiptune music. In all honesty, while I don't find it tear patches out of your hair bad, I don't see what all the fuss is about. Much like most other parts of the game. Conclusion. This game was voted the best game of 2015 or 16 or whatever, I don't follow IGN. You couldn't and still probably can't escape its toxic claws around your neck everywhere you turn on the internet. Everyone, and I do mean everyone with any word to their name, has been singing praises about the game and how its characters are great, how the music will blow your mind, how you won't find any game satisfying after you've played it. And then, here I am, standing here disagreeing. The characters I found are more trying to be different and hip than to be good. The music is not my cup of tea, and the only game I am unsatisfied with is this one. Now, while writing this, I asked myself, am I being too harsh? But in the end, I find no, I am not. I'm just detailing my experience as every critic should. I found that this game is trying so hard to be young, so in the crowd, so revolutionizing, that it forgot the basics of what it should be, and threw away logic in favor of hippie propaganda. I'm not saying we shouldn't accept and love each other, but I am saying that I don't play games to be taught to love each other, and I am 100% sure that this game isn't the reason some runaway war criminal opened a 6-shooter, even though its fans act like it is. But I've been rambling for quite some time, repeating the same thing over and over, and in the end, whatever I say here doesn't change what I give the game. No, it tries to explain it. But yeah, whatever, the game gets 5 out of 10, as to me it will never be more than mediocre. And as a closing thought, bye, I've gotta run before a pitchfork is stuck up my ass by an angry mob or something. Well, shit.